Oh, we've started.
Hi.
Oh, we started.
Yeah.
Studying design kind of gives you the foundational basis. What is design? How do you design? How to handle briefs? How to create your own briefs? How to handle client conversations? Executional styles? How to package things when you're speaking to a client, when you're presenting your work? But like coming into real life work, there's a lot of skills you learn on the job, you know? I mean, not every brief is the same. Sometimes a brief is gonna require you to do something you've never done before. It's taking theory and practical things and now actually executing and applying them.
What do you look for when collaborating with a team?
The adaptability we spoke about, tenacity, perseverance. Working with clients is no child's play. Sometimes it can be the best thing and sometimes it can also be challenging. Authenticity as well. I think at the end of the day, if you're true to yourself, you do work to the best of your ability. You know that what you're putting forward is good and it's the best that you can put forward. Communication is also a big one. I think if there's anything we learned, it's how to communicate effectively with each other and with the rest of the company, because we're a team. We all work together. Like there has to be a certain synergy. If things are not moving, you must be able to say why they're not moving. If you're failing to do something, you must be able to say, listen, I can't do this and I need help. Closed mouths don't get fed. Open your mouth, speak, say something, say what's happening, say what you need, say what you can't do, say what you can do. When speaking to the client, fully understanding what exactly they want and how they want it. And I think also with our production team and also our design team is we'd always have mood boards. Oh, so nothing is a surprise. Like this execution, it wasn't a surprise. Like Orca didn't see this and go, wow, we never expected it to look like this.
Yeah.
Everything down to the T was discussed, was agreed upon, and then mine was to now follow through and execute. I forgot to talk about High School Musical.
What?
That's the experience. You were going to ask about my childhood.
So before we dive into the conversation, a quick reminder. Most of you are watching without subscribing. So if this podcast adds value to you, press that subscribe button, leave a comment, or share it with somebody who might benefit from this conversation. It helps us grow the Do It community, and it also makes sure you don't miss the next conversation. Hi, Angela.
Hi, Waka. How
are you?
I'm good, thanks. A bit nervous, but I'm okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here.
Really?
Yeah. I met Raisa on, was it yesterday?
She told me.
At this park. I met her yesterday. And you know what she was telling me?
What was she saying?
Yeah, Angela told me that she's coming. Oh, I'm gonna stop her. She told me that she's nervous, so I'm gonna stop her from coming. And I was like, you, don't you dare.
I threatened him. I told him he must be nice.
Oh, yeah?
Like, that's my girl.
Oh, yeah? Wow. So you support Raisa?
You know what? That's my homegirl. Okay.
Wow. I feel bad.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but anyways, it's good to have you here, finally.
Thanks. It's good to be here. You're saying finally, like you've been trying for a while.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, even to convince you.
Yes, the convincing part, that's true.
Yeah, even convincing you just
very
to... Yeah.
adamant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not really like a in public person.
Yeah.
So this is very new.
Yeah.
It's so new.
No, there's always a first time for everything, right?
It is.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, good to have you. So just to take you back, the first time I came across your work, I think it was on LinkedIn. You know, I'm connected to a lot of people from Giraffe.
Yes.
So, yeah.
You know the whole Giraffe, you might as well.
Yeah, the whole team's gonna be here eventually. Yeah, but I saw your work, I think through, of course, mutual connections like Ebo, Gio, Eugene, all these people. So it's amazing to see the work that you've been doing.
Thank you.
I was stalking you, looking at your portfolio and the work that you've done.
Hey, that work online is so old though, so.
It doesn't matter, it's your work. You put it out there. Yeah. So I'm impressed by your work. I think I love seeing female creatives, especially when it comes to design and photography and videography, of course. I like seeing that, and I want to talk to even more women that are doing this.
Yes. Thank you so much.
I would like you to take me back.
Okay.
Because I believe everybody, your story has influenced the person that you are today and what you're doing. So how was it like when you were a child?
When I was a child,
I
was a very regular child, I think. So I am one of 4 children. I think I'm a typical middle child. I wasn't entirely always creative, but I did love music a lot, right? I think for the latter part of my childhood, we did move around quite a lot as a family. We relocated, so got to meet friends, new people. But yeah, very family-centered, very in my own space kind of. Yeah, So that was pretty much my childhood. Pretty simple, pretty regular.
What kind of child were you in class?
I wasn't, I'm not the best academic. I'm not the best academic. I think even my parents would attest to that. I struggled a bit, but we made it through.
Yeah.
I struggled, but we made it through.
When you're in school, I think it's important even the school system, it's important for them to understand what kind of child you are.
Yes.
Did you like make a lot of noise or
No,
were you the
I
kind
don't
of
think
person
so.
who would fidget or want to do something at your desk?
Maybe I don't recall much, but I don't think so. I think I was pretty probably noisemaker, like with my close friends, but I'm not sure about being very out there, no, I don't think so.
What about amongst the four?
Amongst the four?
Yeah.
Like of my siblings?
Yeah, your siblings.
Amongst my siblings, I think when I say
what
middle
would they
child,
say when somebody
when I
asks you?
say middle child, I think I'm really middle child.
Yeah.
I've got louder siblings.
Oh yeah?
But my family is loud, so we are a loud bunch. As a family, we're very loud.
When you go out there, it's like...
You will know we are there.
Yeah, I'm also the middle child.
Really?
Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
4.
So you're one of 5?
Yeah, 1 of 5.
Okay.
So I'm the middle child.
How's that like?
How is that like? Yeah, it's like you have 2 older siblings and 2 young siblings, and you're kind of like in the middle.
Just floating.
I think, how can I say it? I think it gives me more responsibility. I don't know.
Really?
Kind of like you're responsible. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Other people would better describe me than myself. Yeah. But how would your siblings describe you to other people?
I don't know. How would my siblings describe? I wish I could ask my siblings right now.
How would you describe them? One of them is here.
I wish I could ask my siblings right now.
How would you describe her?
I wish I could ask her. I mean, like I saw this tweet that said that describe yourself in 3 words as a woman, and you said no.
Who wants to be a billionaire? Can I call a friend?
Yeah.
I mean, loud, no, but she's up there with us. Our brother is the most quiet of us.
So I think almost ambivert. Like I guess, like when you're ambivert, you almost merge into what's surrounding. Yes.
But socially, she is very extroverted, though.
Extroverted.
Yeah.
Like, you dance with people you don't know who you've met for the first time.
Wow, okay.
And she dances. TikTok?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
Wow.
You should ask her boyfriend now dances TikToks because of
her.
I'm talking dancing. I'm talking... What do you call it?
Are they posted? No.
She met them.
True.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think sibling bonding is like really fun.
Yeah.
I think, it's pretty cool. You know, you'd feel bad for people that are just alone and... Yeah. Of course, you went through school to grade 12, right?
Yes.
And then after that, what was that conversation like?
So from grade 12, I then ended up doing an IB diploma. Right, so I'm not sure if you heard of it. It's like A-levels, but then IB is a diploma level. So A-levels is a certificate, IB is diploma. And so I did my IB diploma, and during the course of my IB diploma, because I never actually took anything artistic ever, like from high school or whatever, I think the only artistic thing I ever did was drama. So during my IB diploma, I was taking business and maths and all those things, and I really, really sucked. So we got called into a meeting with the school counselor, and they were like, listen, this child is struggling with the numbers. So they're like, okay, cool, let's swap out a subject. And the only option was visual arts. So we're like, okay, sure, that's fine. But that was almost like in the last year of my diploma. So that was me doing arts for the first time and everything. So when I then did that was when I was like, okay, I think this is something I'd like to do. I'm just not sure in what capacity. So from then, I started looking at universities, seeing what's out there. I had never heard of graphic design or art direction. I didn't know these are things you could actually study. I was thinking, I think I'm going to be a lawyer or like a social worker. So like going through my academic journey kind of like exposed me to like, okay, you can actually make a career out of artistic things. So so even when I applied for design, I had no idea what it was. No clue what I would end up being. I'm just like, let's see where it goes. And that is how I ended up in university doing a BA in graphic design. then graduated. And that was pretty much my academic life.
What was that conversation like the time you wanted to transition or wanted to go into design?
The transition in subjects or like transition
Yeah, like to
university?
design, the university. Where did they stand?
Honestly, it wasn't so difficult. I think, thankfully, I don't really have like rigid African parents or like you must be a doctor or whatever. No, I think our parents did a good job at understanding where we are. And each one of our siblings, they did a really good job at understanding where our strengths lie. And they knew my strength was anywhere else.
Yeah.
So once they saw also my potential, you know, because we had like quite involved teachers, like once they saw my potential and stuff like that, they're like, okay, I think this could work, you know. So even when I started to take up visual arts, we'd have things like student exhibitions, they'd come through and see the work and everything. And like, there's something here, you know. So I think they supported me in that regard. So it wasn't a difficult conversation like, now what will you do with your life? What will
Since you failed at math and whatever.
Yeah.
I think I commend your parent because it's really important to understand that your children are different.
True.
And not most parents will support you in that regard because they just want you to be like, oh, you have disappointed us. You're not going to be a lawyer or an economist.
Is that what your parents did?
No. Okay. No, they did not. Understanding children and their strength is really important because there's some children that have like ADHD, like they can't just sit down in class and they're just fidgeting in class. They're playing around. They're not paying attention in class. And so people would say, oh, that child is dumb or they're too playful. They're not going to go anywhere. But it's just a matter of putting them in the right environment. And I think that's what I've come to understand. And so, I think it's commendable. I think most parents should do that more. Yeah.
No shame, they were great.
Yeah.
They were very supportive.
Yeah, no, that's pretty amazing. So your time at Vega school, how was the learning like? How was your journey like?
It was really good. I think my best academic performance was in university, like hands down. The way I struggled in high school, I did not struggle in university. And I think that's when I really realized that, okay, I think I'm doing something that I really like. So Vega was very good at showing different disciplines in terms of like creativity and also showing how all those disciplines can still coexist and work together. So they had fashion design, interior design, graphic design. These are all like different degrees. Brand leadership, I think. Yeah. And like they'll do events or like collab things where we'd all come together, form teams. You have an interior designer, graphic designer, whatever, and you work on a client brief. And then you end up doing a competition or winning something. Yeah. And it really opened my eyes to be like, we actually, as a designer or whatever, you can really work in any industry or any space, you know, like you can really coexist with other creators. So it really taught me a lot of collaboration. It exposed me to a lot of people and how design can be in everything. It was really great. I think I really enjoyed my time there. I also really liked how the degree was set up in that even though my degree is BA in graphic design, I did different things. So I studied web design, illustration and drawing, did some painting, did some business management. Then from that, you kind of choose where you want to specialize in, which I think was a good thing. Because like, okay, if tomorrow I wake up and I'm like, you know what, I kind of want to go into web design, I still have a foundation of what web design is.
Awesome.
I know.
That sounds like an incredible journey.
Listen, it's great.
Yeah.
I recommend.
Oh, yeah? You would go back?
No.
But you would recommend. So you have worked across different markets. So that is Zambia, Lesotho, South Africa,
Yes.
and Ghana as well, of course, remotely.
Yeah.
What lessons can you pick from there, or what differences have you seen, or what have you learned?
What have I learned? So, interesting, love. So, yeah, I did work in like the different countries. And I think the beauty of that was that it was at different stages in my life. So when I just graduated, in fact, prior to graduation, while I was in university, I ended up doing internship. So my family relocated to Lesotho, so that's where we were living. So during my university holidays, I'd kind of go home, and I ended up doing internship at a magazine company there. Lesotho is very cultural, like they're deeply rooted in culture, really rich culture. They're very traditional. They are very proud, like they really wear their culture with pride, you know. And I think as someone who's not from there, being in that area, you have to adapt. You have to be quick because they'll speak to you in Sesotho, and if you're not replying, they'll keep it moving.
Oh, yeah?
So, like, I think even for like my siblings and I, my family members and I, you almost like learn the culture. You learn how to work with different people, how to speak to different people, learning the language, not fluently, but like enough to get by. So that's pretty much what living and working in Lesotho kind of taught me. It was like adaptability, how to balance that, okay, design, but in a cultural way, communication as well, communication barriers, how to have effective communication. Then from that, when I graduated, I ended up working for an agency in South Africa. South Africa is fast-paced. They move like this. You either know something or you don't. Again, there was the obvious factor that I'm not South African. So you constantly have to prove yourself. Being not from there, you constantly have to prove your place there. You have to prove your skills there. Funny enough, the agency I worked for, I was the only one of my kind. And I mean that in every way. I was the only female and the only person of my race.
Black person?
Yeah, I was the only black person, so I worked with white men. And it was crazy, like they moved like men do, very fast. It's 1 + 1 = 2. So I really learned to like quickly improve my skill and quickly learn on the job. And I think that was my first introduction to industry work, where today I'm working for a hospital, tomorrow you're doing work for a vaping company, the next day you're doing work in retail. So it really had me on my toes. And I was like, university wasn't like this.
Yeah.
But it really kept me on my toes. Then from then, I ended up relocating back to Zambia, where I almost found a balance between the two. So for me, Zambia almost strikes me as slightly cultural, although not as cultural in the way we advertise and promote things, but depending on what audience we are working for. There's some certain brands that do want to cater to a more cultural audience. If we're talking agriculture and stuff like that, the consumers of that audience is almost still not technologically advanced or whatever. So you almost have to like, shape or market it towards that direction. Then there's also like other brands, like if we're talking Trade Kings or other tech brands that are more out there. Trade Kings is always pushing products out, so they also kind of keep you on your toes. So I've almost found a balance in that. So I feel like Zambia is kind of in between.
Yeah, of course you went to school, visual arts, you did all of that, and then you went into the industry. How much of what you learned in school you carried into the industry, or how useful was it?
It was useful in terms of foundation, so studying design kind of gives you the foundational basis. What is design? How do you design? How to handle briefs? How to create your own briefs? How to handle client conversations, executional styles, how to package things when you're speaking to a client, when you're presenting your work. And then once you start working, now that transition from knowing that theory and knowing that, we also had a lot of practicals, but like coming into real life work, there's a lot of skills you learn on the job. Not every brief is the same. Sometimes a brief is going to require you to do something you've never done before, design-wise, and you'll be there on YouTube looking up tutorials. Yeah. So I think that pretty much was the difference, in that it's taking theory and practical things and now actually executing and applying them. So yeah, a lot of it is very valid. I think a lot of it I've taken with me, but I've also added on a lot more now that I've been working as a designer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you've worked with different brands.
Yes.
Which projects stand out to you the most?
Projects that I think I really enjoyed working on currently is MediHerb, the brand MediHerb, the TK brand MediHerb. I do their social content. It's so cute. I really love it. It's very easygoing, very feminine. Another project that I liked working on was the Access Bank mortgages campaign and the vehicle financing loan campaign as well.
What are some of the challenges that you faced in your career?
A current challenge, I don't know, is probably, I think, finding a balance between doing something passionately and also clients rebutting, So I think client communication, in essence, which is something that I'm still learning and I'm also like finding my footing in, is finding that balance also between, this is what I feel is the right direction. And then clients also like, me, this is what I feel is the right direction. So working towards that kind of tussle a bit, and then finding common ground with client and also ensuring client satisfaction. I think that's been one of the challenges. I think also with agency work, we meet different clients whose needs we have to cater to. So you almost have different needs, and then also trying to still stay creative across all these different industries, not putting yourself in a box, making sure you're not repeating ideas and stuff like that. So that has been a bit crazy, but it helps to work in a great team. I think we have a really great team of designers. It helps with brainstorming, seeing what's happening out there, rubbing, ideas off each other. Like, guys, what do you think about this? Okay, no, maybe let's go this direction. Guys, how do I respond to this? They just told me this is trash, So it really, really does help. But clients is one thing. You take it to the chin, you pick yourself up, and you try again.
Yeah. What about as a woman in the creative field?
As a woman in the creative field, honestly, I haven't had much challenges, truth be told. When I was at my previous agency job, not in Zambia, but when I was in South Africa, I did have that struggle. I think I mentioned I was working in a company that was only men. It was crazy because I was young. I was straight out of university. So I think there was all these other factors involved as well, not just because I was female, but there was all these other factors where there was a lot of, okay, can you really do what we want you to do, And I think that also gave me a little bit of imposter syndrome. I'd always feel like maybe I'm not good enough, maybe, I do always tell the guys I work with that before coming to Giraffe. So now there's two of us. There's two women in the team, but previously it was just me and the guys. But before I came, I told them, I was so nervous. I'm like, hey, where I'm going? I was so worried because I think I had heard of my workmates prior to the same way you hear about people on LinkedIn. I had heard about all of them, Ebo, Ray, Dickens and stuff. And I'm like, these are really great designers, and I'm just like, I just don't even know where I match up to come join this great team. But when I joined there, honestly, I can't even say I feel like, oh, I'm a female designer. I'm just a designer. I really feel like I'm just like any other designer. We merged really well. I learned from them. We learned from each other. And it's been pretty cool. So I don't think I've had any challenges really because I'm a woman.
All right. Now that's awesome to hear. And you're also promoted to senior designer, right?
I was.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How is that like being a leader now?
It's interesting. I think it's great. It's a challenge I was up for. I wouldn't say it's something I expected. I was surprised when I got the information, when I was told. But I think it's been a great learning experience. It's also helping me grow. It's helping me grow my leadership skills. It's helping me grow my communication skills. Also, it's helping me learn how to not only work in a team, but then assist with managing a team. So, I think I'm enjoying it so far. I have a really good HOD who's Ray, so it's going pretty well.
Yeah, awesome. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
All right, Angela, this is called Do It. Here
Yes.
we do not just talk.
We do it.
Yeah, we do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into one of your campaigns, which you're going to show us, of course. You're going to walk us through your creative process, what the brief was like, all those good details that we want to know. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Thank you for joining me for the project breakdown.
Pleasure.
So we're going to test your skills.
We're going to test my skills?
Yes.
Okay.
If you actually are what you claim to be, a designer. All right. So there's a project here for Orca.
Yes.
You're going to walk us through. Tell me about the campaign before we dive into it.
So, funny enough, this was, I think, one of the first campaigns I worked on when I started working at Giraffe. And I had just gotten hired and they said, over to you. And they said, oh, okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, they said, over to you.
Yeah.
So I was the designer on the account at the time. So what the campaign pretty much was Orca announcing that they were relocating from their Kafua Road location to Mandahill. And this was basically because they had an audience that was basically saying, listen, you guys are so far away. We can't be driving across town just to buy a lamp and a couch. We need you to come closer. So conversations with clients. So we have amazing account managers. I think the account manager on the account was at the time Kataka. And he had conversations with client. Okay, what is the problem? And what is the solution? The problem is that Orca is too far away. What is the solution? We're bringing them closer to the side of town. Okay, cool. How are we communicating that? And there was conversations now where we decided who's the brand ambassador. At the time, it was Esther Chungu. And we were going to use her for majority of the campaign. So we then started looking at ideas and messaging and how we're going to reveal this. And we pretty much broke it up into different parts. So teaser, announcement, and then post-launch advertising. Yeah. So this campaign pretty much involved basically the entire agency. So we had account management, we had production involved. We also had some sound for radio ads. We had design as well for, curation of the content and post-production editing. Yeah. So my involvement was pretty much hands-on. So pretty much from the brainstorming, deciding how we're going to work, how we're going to choose different colors to represent different things, and how we're going to shoot. So we had a 3-day shoot, and I was on set for most of those shoots. Yeah. So we decided to start with the teasers. So when shooting, like I said, it was very much hands-on. So this is where I guess the photography skills and the design skills kind of come together, in that even though I wasn't the one shooting, Eugene was behind the camera. Eugene was behind. Shout out to Eugene. Eugene was behind the camera. We had to envision the finished product. So what are we going for? But mind you, during the brainstorming process, we had reference images. We had the different colors we would use. We had Chonzi, shout out to Chonzi, who was set designer on this project. And she would look at different fabrics. This is what we're going to use. This is what we're going to do. So I had to envision the finished product. When we designed the artwork, this is what it's going to look. So with this finished product, what type of images do I want? How do I want Esther placed in frame so that I can use this artwork to create a billboard, to create a social media post, to create a pull-up banner, to do branding for windows and all those things. So I really had to be hands-on on set. I had to show her sitting direction.
Nice.
Yeah. At the time, Esther was pregnant.
Okay.
And we didn't want the pregnancy, or she did not want to reveal her pregnancy just yet. So this also brought in a bit of dynamics. So now there was sitting positions and poses,
cool.
and all those things. So it required a lot of movement, a lot of seeing what we want and how we want it, and placement, telling her where to stand. So this was like one of the behind the scene photos. And this is pretty much what we had. We had white paper that we had ripped up. We had Esther in the middle poking out of the white bar. And then in the background was different fabrics that would basically represent different sections that Orca has. So I think there's home furniture, outdoor furniture, kitchen, etc. Yeah. So we'd replace the colors of the background.
Okay.
So these were basically the raw images. And then we now take the raw images and pretty much create that.
What up?
Ta-da!
Oh, nice.
So how I went about this was we then decided on the color pink. Vibrant, bold, out there. And we would shuffle the colors in the background. Yeah.
Like then, this here we have yellow.
Yes, like the yellow and stuff like that. I can send you the other colors. So during the design process, there was color matching, color correction, because the color you see on the raw image is not the color that we actually want. So it was a lot of post-production, retouching her here and there, but still keeping her natural. Then we had like all these little details, like on the paper, there's like little furniture drawings.
Little sketches there.
And then
nice.
There was areas, thank you. There was areas that are close or that leads to Manda Hill. So like there's Long Acres, there's Rhodes Park.
Cool. Roma, Long
right?
Acres.
I mean, these are things that you don't really see. Like you're not going to notice the But I think we always pride ourselves in like the little details where when you actually sit down and look at the artwork, you see how much has actually gone into it. So these were the teasers. And then what the idea was that the colors behind would then reveal the announcement artwork. So for instance, exactly. So this is the pink, behind we have the yellow, sorry. And then it reveals yellow the announcement that there's something cozy on this side of town.
Oh, this is a cool concept. I love it.
It was really great. The team did a fantastic job, honestly. Yeah, so it was really great. So this was then rolled out into social posts. We also did some billboard placements across town and on Great East Road. And then we followed that up with other brand content that we also did. So we did different shoots, like that's an example of a raw shoot that we did, and then
The final. Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
so it was a pretty hands-on campaign, and it was pretty dope.
Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, and then I can see on the teaser you didn't have to add the logo, right?
Yeah.
On this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the teaser, because I mean they kind of had to guess.
Yeah.
So also where this was kind of posted or like where this was launched was, like we said, we had billboard placements. There was radio ads. On the billboard placements there was no logo, which I guess ties into it being a teaser. You know, and Esther would also post it on her Facebook page. And then Manda Hill, which is where Orca is located, would post it on their page. Orca would not post anything until the announcement.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
The rollout was really great, honestly. Yeah.
So
That's
for the
billboard.
so of course the raw photos, who was doing like the retouching?
I was.
Oh, you were.
Yes.
Eugene just gave you the files. Take all these pictures.
You know, yes, and it doesn't always happen. However, thankfully, with my knowledge of photography and my knowledge of retouching, usually I take that off his hands.
Yeah.
I save him the time, in such situations. I think also because I knew what I wanted out of it, I think I was pretty much down to do majority of the post-production work.
Yeah. How many revisions did you have to do, like going back?
So not much. Funny enough, there weren't that many reverts, I think. I think the only thing we had reverts on was maybe sizing and resizing. But in terms of rollout, I think we pretty much nailed it quite spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was very few reverts, honestly, unless I don't remember. And I was I was so traumatized and delusional. But no, I think there was very few reverts, honestly, with this. Yeah.
No, those are the most awesome projects where
Right?
you get a few revisions, or maybe just change this text.
Exactly.
Not
yeah,
like
so
they tell
just
you,
the
no,
text.
we're not feeling this. Can you make the design pop? Maybe make
Yeah.
the logo bigger. It's like always a challenge.
I
Yes.
know. But I think that's where also like excellent client communication comes in.
Yeah.
I think I said like with our account managers, when speaking to the client, fully understanding what exactly they want and how they want it. And I think also with our production team and also our design team is would always have mood boards. Always. So nothing is a surprise. Like,
Yeah.
like this execution, it wasn't a surprise. Like Orca didn't see this and go, wow, we never expected it to look like this.
Oh,
you know?
okay. Yeah.
Everything down to the T was discussed, was agreed upon, and then mine was to now follow through and execute. Yeah.
I think Gio also touched on like a lot of mood boards. Like even the colors, you have to be very specific.
Down to the T.
Yeah, client communication is really important.
Yes.
Understanding exactly what they want. And also, as a designer, you don't just have to understand, I'm able to make this design look cool. You also need to understand how to communicate with the client.
Exactly.
Because sometimes you might use language that they do not understand.
True.
You see, so it's really important that you learn to ask the right questions.
Exactly.
Yeah, learning to
Yes.
ask the right question
Yes.
is so important so that you don't have to go back and forth many times. All right, awesome. That was really cool. I love the design and
Thanks.
everything, the color combination and all that.
Yeah.
And also just maybe the behind the scene. I think this is what most people don't see. They
Yes.
just see a billboard. Oh, there's a billboard
I
there.
know, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I passed it.
Yeah, and they don't even know the person behind it. Yeah, I think that is one of the more, I keep saying this to every guest, like that's the more reason why I started the podcast to show creatives and what they're doing. When I look at an advert for Boom, I don't know who's behind that. I don't know what work went into there.
Yeah.
And so creatives need credit. The people behind that need credit. So yeah, this is why we do it.
Love it.
All right, so moving on to our last project, photography. Photography is
Yes.
also something that you do.
It
Tell me about
is.
that.
Photography is giving my passion project. Like I don't work as a full-time photographer. I work in graphic design, obviously. So away from my full-time job is then when I'm shooting and stuff. So yeah, it's something that I really love. I love portraiture, I love taking pictures of people. If I could do that full-time, I think I would, actually, yes.
Awesome. So let's look at some of the pictures.
Let's.
This one, tell me about it. This is really good.
Thanks. So this was funny enough, a birthday shoot, but not entirely like typical happy birthday balloons type of birthday shoot. I think the model in shot is very reserved, very shy. She's like, listen, I just want something chill.
Yeah.
Very cute pictures. So I was like, okay, fine. So we did it in her home. did a one softbox light setup. And that's pretty much how I went about it. Comfort was key. Feeling herself, being herself. I think that pretty much was what we went for.
Yeah.
So we did a 2-part shoot. This was the first part where it was just pretty much casual. And then the second part was where we almost now had like a bit more personality, where she said she loves food.
Yeah. This looks like an ad.
It does.
For KFC, yeah.
For KFC and Coca-Cola.
Should talk to them. Yeah.
Call me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she loves food. So we're like, you know what, let's incorporate food into the shoot. You know, if that's what's going to make you most comfortable, let's do that. Because I feel like there's no structure on what a birthday shoot must be, you know, or or what a specific shoot must be. So that's pretty much what we did. Got some food, had her having it, changed her outfits, same light setup, just slightly different location. One light. Yeah. And that was
What camera and lens were you using?
I was using a 24mm Nikon D90. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not very technical, so I hope I said that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I was using. And then I have a Godox flashlight that I put into a softbox, and then, yeah.
No, this is really awesome. I like the way you retouch. When did you learn to do that, in school?
No, on the job.
On the job.
Very much on the job. So YouTube. So retouching in photography, I think my photography lecturer was like very into natural, let's not be too dramatic, let's keep things as natural as possible, have natural skin tones. So I think, which is what I also still do, like majority of my photos are very much in their natural light setup.
Oh, yeah.
You know, then editing is just like fixing contrast, making sure colors are correct and stuff. So then as far as now, extra like high-end commercial retouching, YouTube. That is really where YouTube came in.
Yeah.
When I almost wanted to now like take my post-production to the next level. YouTube is your best friend.
This is good. I haven't gotten... I do take pictures, but...
You do?
I'm not... Yeah. I mean, I do almost everything. I don't know, but...
Okay.
but I'm not... Yeah, but I'm not the best at this. This is like very good.
Thank you.
I almost can't do this because I still need to learn more. Of course, I do take pictures, but not as good as this.
Thanks.
And the retouching especially... this is really nice. I like how the skin remains natural, like you said.
Yeah.
Like I thought this was an ad for KFC or
Really?
Coca-Cola.
Thank you. I hope
Should
you're
go
not
on
just
a
saying
billboard.
that.
No,
Okay.
I'm being for real.
Thanks.
If you are not good, I would tell you.
You would?
Yes.
On camera?
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah. I'll let everybody know.
I would leave.
Oh no, I don't want you to leave. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is really good. Oh, nice.
Thanks.
Okay. And this one, the
So
portrait.
these are now corporate shots.
Yeah.
Right, which is something that I'm also getting into. So professional shots, corporate shots. So I'm a mobile photographer, which means like I go, so which it almost makes it a bit easier and a bit difficult as well.
Yeah.
Because I do not know what location I'm being sent to. Finding good lighting, Zesco.
Yeah. Zesco.
You almost have to find the middle ground. But yeah, things usually end up working out pretty well. One thing I also do when planning my shoots is also maybe a bit invasive, maybe depending. Like some clients like it, I guess, is also going down to what are you wearing? Where are we shooting from?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that things kind of work out well, you know? So that he's not wearing an orange shirt.
Yeah.
In a low lit camera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So having everything come together cohesively, I think, is something also that really helps. Yeah.
So you have to make sure you improvise, look for the best spots.
Look for the
You know, like clients sometimes are like, oh, where are we going to shoot from? Where am I going to sit?
Yes.
Like they're asking you all these questions, like, let me think, chill.
Right? So all
Yeah.
that is done during consultation. So we talk about it, we plan for it. Like I said, I think, which is something I've also learned from agency work, nothing should be a surprise. Of
Yeah.
course, surprises do happen on the day. Like I don't think there's ever a shoot where from start to finish it's gone
Yeah,
as
it's
planned.
everything. Yeah.
No, but at least the baseline and like the foundation of the shoot should be thought through.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we're going for. We have mood boards. These are the outfits this client or this model is gonna wear.
Yeah.
These are the locations. Sometimes if I do have time, I would preview the location beforehand, just to spot out, okay, this is the best area and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That also helps. Being prepared is key, very much key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that you do a lot of preparation, which is
Yes.
good. Okay, I like how you, like, one light most of the times. This is how you use that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, these are all the pictures.
Yes.
One light setup. I like this.
Thank you.
Just good work. All right, thank you so much for the project breakdown.
Pleasure.
Yeah, this was really fun.
It was actually.
Yeah, no, I think for me, the most joy comes from learning how somebody actually did it.
Yeah.
And just going through the process. Because when I was young, I used to love cartoons a lot.
Yeah.
But I didn't know like the people behind them. You know, during those times, like in the
Yes.
2000s, you don't know who was like behind the cartoons.
That's an interesting
there was no
thing
YouTube.
to think about. You want to know the people behind.
Yeah, I want to know the people behind. And there was no YouTube, so I can't Google the name, the end credits, or what was behind the work. But being able to interview someone and see, oh, this is actually how you did it. This is how you set up the camera and all those things. So this gives me a lot of pleasure, and yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Back to our conversation, just to wrap it up. The world is fast changing. There's new technologies. There's new tools coming up. There's AI now. So there's Nano Banana now. There's ChatGPT, Midjourney, all those tools. How do you adapt to all these things that are moving so fast?
You literally just have to learn. Like you really just have to learn. I remember, I think you had this conversation with Abel and Mapalo.
Yeah.
Right? About the whole AI and stuff. And really, I think it really just comes to also being adaptable as a designer. I think, like I said earlier when we spoke about my university journey, how I really loved it in the sense that it really almost made us multifaceted as creatives, where you can't just stick to one thing in 2025.
Yeah.
You know? Also, the way the economy is set up, you can't do one thing.
Yeah, you can't do one thing.
You know? And the world is moving fast. It's digital. Not only is it digital, but like stills and statics are like not really entertaining anymore. People are just like, okay, cool, bye. Lots of movement, lots of reels, you know, motion graphics. So you literally have to continue learning. So it's crazy, but that's the only way to get by. You really just have to adapt.
And what are your thoughts on AI?
It's pretty cool. Honestly, I like it so far. I think it's enhanced the way we do work. It's made us a little more efficient. It still also has a long way to go, like in terms of work and stuff, but they're moving pretty fast. So I think they're doing good. But yeah.
I think it does work so well for me. It's like, I love it.
Same.
Yeah.
Honestly, same. I think there's still some areas where I'm like, I wish it could do more for me.
Yeah.
But so far, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's really good, especially if for me, it does make my work very easy. I think I'm moving faster than I was.
You're more efficient, right?
Yeah, I'm more efficient than before. So there's some people who are like, oh no, AI is bad, it's going to take your job. It's like, just adapt and make your work easier.
You still have to put in the prompts.
Yeah, you have to put in the prompts. If somebody doesn't understand a certain industry, there are certain terms that they won't understand.
Exactly.
So as a designer, I know certain terms that I can use. Or as a photographer, I want the light to be set up in such a way. I want the mood to be like this. But for somebody that doesn't know anything about photography, they can't prompt that. What do you look for when collaborating with a team?
The adaptability we spoke about, tenacity, perseverance. Working with clients is no child's play. Sometimes it can be the best thing, and sometimes it can also be challenging. Authenticity as well. I think at the end of the day, if you're true to yourself, then you do work to the best of your ability. You know that what you're putting forward is good and it's the best that you can put forward. And I think at the end of the day, that's also what's important. Communication is also a big one. I think if there's anything we learned, I keep referring my department, but because it's where I am now. Yeah. But I think if there's anything we learned, it's how to communicate effectively with each other and with the rest of the company, because we're a team, you know? We all work together. Like there has to be a certain synergy. If things are not moving, you must be able to say why they're not moving. You know, if you're failing to do something, you must be able to say, listen, I can't do this and I need help. You know, closed mouths don't get fed. Open your mouth, speak, say something, say what's happening, say what you need, say what you can't do, say what you can do. And I think that also applies in everything, like even in freelance work, when dealing with clients. I know there's I don't know if it's a misconception that, you know, Zambian service providers are bad at communication, they switch off their phones, etc., etc. But like, if you're just a person of your word, you know what you can do, you communicate effectively, I think things would work well.
I don't know if so far with your experience, but sometimes you don't decide your team sometimes. Like, it's just
True.
given to you. So you also have to learn to adapt
Yes.
and know how to to make your way through that environment, right? So now, what would your advice be to somebody to a creative that wants to expand to other skills as well? For example, if you're a designer
Yes.
and you want to learn something else,
Firstly, go for it. Like, do it. Like I said, I think...
do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Yes.
Yes. You have to be adaptable. The industry is fast changing. The industry is moving. You know, learn what you can. Learn from different people. I find that the easiest way to learn is from the people around me. I've learned so much working around other creatives than I've actually learned on my own. And I think that is something I would highly, highly recommend. Find someone, like, I don't know if DMs have that effect, like DM them and be like, hey, can I learn from you? Can I shadow you?
Oh, yeah.
etc. You know, I don't know how open people are to meeting strangers like that, but I think if someone has the heart for sharing knowledge, then I don't think they'll see anything wrong with that. But yeah, go for it, learn, expand your skills. Yeah.
Now, to wrap it up, it's time for the rapid fire questions.
Let's
One answer, no paragraphs, no long
No
answers.
explanation, no nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I'll tell you to do so.
Okay,
Yeah.
like you ask for clarification.
Yes. Sometimes I break my rules and keep mine. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. Favorite project you've ever worked on?
The Orca campaign.
The Orca campaign. One design tool you can't live without.
Maybe the undo.
The undo. Control Z.
Control Z.
Okay. Dream client or brand you would love to design for?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, from that photography project.
Coca-Cola or Woolworths. Either or.
Photography or design, if you had to pick one?
Passion-wise, photography. Okay, but we said no explanations. Photography.
Photography. Okay. One word that describes your creative style?
Clean.
Clean. Awesome. All right, Angela. Those
are all the questions.
Those are all the
Okay.
questions for the rapid fire questions. You know, Abel was commenting
I
on
was just
another
about to say, I
podcast.
saw Abel on his...
Yeah,
I think it
it's like trolling
on
and saying...
Gio's podcast. He was
Yeah,
like, there should be more fire questions. I agree
Yeah.
with Abel.
Yeah, I forgot to add more. But anyway.
It's okay.
All right, Angela, thank you so much for coming through.
Thanks.
This was really exciting.
It was for me as well. I was
Yeah.
very nervous. You know, I almost never came.
Yeah. And you don't
But I'm
regret
glad I
it.
did. I don't.
Yeah. You should tell Raisa that I'm not as bad as she was describing me.
She didn't even say bad things. She just said she threatened you a bit.
She threatened me a bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
was.
just-
She was bullying me. She was looking up to me and
like,
warning me. Like,
Because she's small.
yeah. Yeah. But anyway, this
It was so good.
yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, really glad to have you
Like-
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be hoping to
Thanks
have
for
another
finding my
conversation.
LinkedIn.
Oh, your LinkedIn. Yeah, I always make sure that at least I do my research. So all your digital footprint, at least I know a bit about you so that I...
Covered it.
Yeah, so I know exactly what you're about. And yeah, I love the work that you're doing. I think
Thank you.
this is also encouraging to other female creatives who want to get into the space. They need examples. They need to see other people that are doing this. So this is really exciting. Are there any exciting projects that you're currently working on?
That's my question.
Question we've been waiting for.
Exciting projects I'm working on. I wouldn't necessarily say projects. However, I think I'm delving a lot more into my passion, which is photography lately. So yeah, I'm shooting more, hopefully taking more bookings. If you need a shoot, call me.
Hala.
Holla. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm doing. You can find my work on my website or on my Instagram. Yeah.
What is the hand and where can people find you? So I was going to ask you that question.
Where can they find me?
Yeah, where can they find you? Online. Of course.
Online.
Yes, online. Don't give him your physical address.
No.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't
Online.
even be able to find it. These roads in Lusaka, like, yeah. Online at Tisankhe __ on Instagram.
Sharing
The
it,
website link is going to appear right here.
Yeah. Angela, thank you so much. This was
Thank
fun.
you, Waka.
Wish we could go on and on. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah, let's do it.
What?